A man accidentally fell into a trap, was locked in a 10-meter deep vertical shaft. The well cover above him was bulletproof, so his regular handgun couldn't break through it. To escape, he took a pair of scissors from his backpack and used them to cut into a water pipe. Then he removed the bullets from his gun and collected all the gunpowder. He wrapped the powder in white cloth and stuffed it into the pipe. After that, he took off his sock, folded it into a ball, and used it to block one end of the pipe. He plugged the other end with his handgun. Finally, he wrapped film around the spot where the gun barrel and pipe were connected. This turned the setup into a makeshift bomb. When everything was ready, Jimmy picked up a rock and smashed the main water pipe in the shaft. Water started pouring in fast. At this rate, the shaft would be full in less than 10 minutes. Jimmy stayed calm. He used a piece of white cloth to plug his ears, then broke the scissors in half to use as climbing tools. Thanks to the rising water, he floated upward and quickly reached the top of the well. The bomb stayed dry. Just then a group of killers arrived outside. Luckily, Jimmy had already planted the bomb. He grabbed a rope and dove back down into the water. When the killers got close to the well, Jimmy used a rope to pull the trigger of his gun. The water protected him from the blast, so he was able to safely climb out. Once he was out, he relied on his combat skill and quickly took down the remaining killers. But just then, the leader of the killers suddenly attacked and sprayed pepper water into Jimmy's face. Before the leader could celebrate, Jimmy had taken a grenade from the leader's body and pulled the pin. Furious, the leader had no choice but to let go of Jimmy and run outside to save himself. Jimmy jumped out through the window. Luckily, he was fast enough to survive the explosion. The loud blast caught the attention of the police. Thinking Jimmy was the one behind the explosion, they moved in to arrest him. Jimmy didn't want to hurt them, so he ran away. But the police quickly got in their vehicles and chased after across the street, hoping that traffic would block the police cars. However, he wasn't watching carefully and got hit by a passing vehicle, knocking him to the ground. The police seized the moment and handcuffed him to a railing on the side of the road. To make things worse, the killer leader had already returned to their base and sent a large group of killers to go after him.